Hey guys, 460 style here. I got a new addition to the family, and you all know what I'm talking about. Gun. Something that I've wanted for about 4 years now, which I think they came out in, was it 18, 4 years ago, about 14, 15. Something about James Bond. No, I'm just kidding. It's just it has the same name as Bond, so it's Bond Arms. I fell in love with the backup, and I've always wanted one, but I didn't want to pay the new price, so I waited till they either went on sale or I found a used one. So this is what I found. I found myself a little backup, Bond Arm, all original barrel. And as you know, you can get like 12 to 15 different barrels, from a 22 Magnum all the way up to a 45 Colt, 410, 357 38 Special, 10 millimeter, 44 Special, variety of barrels, 12 to 15 I think, and grips and different models, the Ranger and the Cowboy. There's an array of different styles, but I wanted the backup. Okay, I bought it here locally. Great little gun, high reviews, but there is some drawbacks. And for me, I haven't even shot it yet. Just bought it a few days ago. But there is a few drawbacks. One little issue that I have is how, well, it's one big one for me. I don't have big hands. I got roughly medium-sized hands. I'm not a huge guy. I'm like 5'8". So, but anyway, I don't have big hands, and this should be a little gun, so there shouldn't be any issues manipulating it, shooting it, whatever, right? That's wrong. So I'll show you here in just a minute. But everybody knows double barrel, empty, obviously. One screw. Take that little screw out, change the barrel, whatever barrel you want. There's different lengths, 2.5, 3.5, 4 1/4. They got like a 6-inch barrel now, which some lucky viewer won the competition on that barrel because they were looking for a name for it, which is kind of cool. So anyway, great little gun. There's a transfer bar in here. So see, like now there's a transfer bar. I like that pull. It's a single action derringer, and it's hitting the bottom barrel. You do it again, now the transfer bar goes on top. So now you're ready for the top barrel. So you can almost time which barrel that you want to shoot first, vice versa, up or down, down. Safety, nice little safety. Not too hard, pretty easy to push. A little safety right here. Pretty easy to push, not bad. The release of the barrel, push down, that goes up, come down, it locks by itself. This one has the guard. You can take the guard off if you want. Some like it with the guard. If you've got bigger hands, you can take the guard off, whatever. Got the rubber grips. So I'm going to talk about the distance from where you put your hand to the trigger. See, in a panic they kind of promote this derringer as a self-defense gun. Okay, you're not going to shoot thousands of rounds like a 9mm semi-automatic, blah blah blah. But this is supposed to be like backup. 2 shots, in and out, and hopefully you get your 2 shots off and run, basically. So for me, if this is a self-defense gun, it should be as easy as can be. Like, grab it, you're ready. For me, it's awkward, it's odd. If you're in a panic situation, if it's in a holster, if you got a little holster, you're gonna grab it, the whole thing. Now what? Okay, so now you can't do this, and you can't squeeze the trigger because it's at an angle. See, my finger's not straight, it's at an angle. And this is a small gun, and my pad is I can't even squeeze that. I can't even squeeze that. So now, panic situation, I gotta grab it, lower, because you can't be, your hands can't be in the way, you know, they'll interfere the action, your hammer action. So now, the situation, I gotta put my hand lower, my web of my hand lower than the actual hammer, and now I can't even reach that trigger. I mean, I'm full out and I'm at an angle. So now I gotta maneuver my hand around, going towards the front, so I can reach it now. So now it's not normal. And I can't squeeze the trigger for some reason. So I'm grabbing that. So now I gotta maneuver my hand downward to get the trigger off. These are high reviews. These are pretty much well known now. But for me, self-defense, I'll show you some examples of some other guns that I have. If I was in a panic situation, besides my 460 is more of a hunting gun, but if I gotta grab this thing real quick, I'm gonna have to think about all those three things unless you practice thousands of rounds with this thing to actually get it right. Because I'm still barely past that trigger. Still barely past it. And this is a little gun. I'll give you an example. Bond arm, my 460. Okay? And watch this. Panic situation. My hand's on the trigger. Well past the trigger. And I can shoot. Sorry guys. It's empty. And let you guys know it's empty. So, I can still look, and it's past it. And this is an X-frame. One of the biggest handguns in the world. And I can put my hand, if I got a panic situation, look, I'm past it. I'm actually past the trigger. Half my pad, front section of my finger. And this is a huge gun. Versus, you know what I mean? Very odd. So that's one example. A pistol. My little SR22 here. Empty. Game, same idea. Excuse me. Put my hand, panic situation, my hand's already there. Way past the trigger point. Straight. My fingers is straight. It's not at an angle trying to squeeze something up. Because now you're all the way up against the web of your hand. Now you can shoot straight. A 9mm G2. Same idea as a 22. All the way up, my hand's straight, right to the trigger. I'm past it. And that's just a little example. You know, it's just a little example of what's going on here. So, nice little gun. Love him. I want to buy all the barrels. Because now you don't have, 9mm, everything. So, but panic situation for me, I got to roll my hand unless I practice with this thing every day. It's a single action, so now your hand got to be in a certain spot. Your hand's got to be at a certain spot every time. But you can't, there's no room for error, margin for error. The other guns, you have a little room for error. It doesn't have to be perfect every time. But the way they're designed, there's little room for error. The way this is designed, there's too much gadgeting going around. No pun intended, because it is kind of like a gadget gun. Well built. Love them. I couldn't wait to get my hands on one of these. I waited like 4 years. But the way that I'm looking at it for self-defense, I'll probably carry it for a backup.